I went into IB because I was a smart kid and it was a challenge. I knew from the minute I walked into my first pre-IB freshman class that in 4 years I would walk out the door with a diploma. That was my challenge. I couldn't fail and I couldn't change my course. I was going to walk out with the diploma no matter what. I loved school. I loved sitting in a room with people reading, writing, thinking about, and discussing the world. It made me happy, challenged me, and fulfilled me like little else can. I loved English class. Being able to write, read, and think was absolutely fascinating, and it was second to none. I also found skill. I found myself being able to work at a higher level, and that was exciting, something I hadn't felt for a long time. I had a community that I fit in with. For the first time, I had a group of people just as driven and hungry as I was, and this was good. I liked being one of many, all working towards a greater goal. I hated school. It dragged me down, tore me apart, and challenged me in ways I wasn't familiar with. I found problems I couldn't solve that were endemic long before I walked into any higher level classes. I found hard work, initiatives, help, and resilience to be failing me just as much as complacency had. I had no way out, and my hole of math problems and chemistry quizzes got deeper and deeper every day. I was working and trying and wanting, but obviously not enough. My problems and my hatred grew deeper and deeper. They manifested in other ways as well. I no longer enjoyed swimming, something I'd been pushing myself to be better at for years. It's hard to be alone with yourself for hours when all you have to think about is failure. It wasn't easy. I lost my friends and pushed those few that I had further and further away until I soon had none. The only solution I found was an awkward combination of failure and change that couldn't erase what had happened. So I found an out. I found something I loved, something with purpose, and something I was good at, and something I could devote myself to. I left. I gave it all up. Signing the paper that removed me from IB was the hardest yet most true thing I've ever done. I was finished, and I ran away to the mountains. My world reopened one bright autumn day when I drove through the gate into a new beginning. I was going to be great, do great, and make great things happen. This happiness, I regained my drive to get better, and I was happy. This happiness wasn't without cost. It wasn't an easy transition. It's hard to go from barely being able to get myself out of bed and take on the responsibility of getting 25 kids out of bed who are barely responsible for themselves. It's hard to have the world on your shoulders at 7:15 in the morning before your first cup of coffee. But this was me, my life, and my place, and I loved it. I devoted a year of my time to other people, to showing them what it means to be strong and resilient and inquisitive and fun and good people. I made it. I firmly believe that if every kid on earth went to outdoor lab, the world would be a better place. People would know and understand the value of teamwork. People would know and understand the meaning and feeling of community. People would know and understand their environment. The most primal thing to someone outside themselves is the world they live in. A sixth grader is very good at knowing themselves, but the world they live in is something else entirely. If I instilled these values in only a few kids this year, my work is complete. This is bigger than me because this world is bigger than me. I came from a place that was just me and entered a place where I am a small part of a big system. I don't want my legacy to be about me or my role. I want it to be about my impact, my effect, and my place in someone's life. I want my time to be remembered not by who I am, but by who other people became. This message is not an easy one to fulfill. This purpose was hard to find and even harder to accept. You can't take care of yourself and of others until you take care of yourself first. I didn't always take care of myself. I spent a lot of time being mad, sad, frustrated, and everything in between. I took myself and my work too seriously. Underneath all the lessons and rules and lists and everything, they're just kids. Kids want to have fun and be loved and enjoy life. They need time to be who they are. They need someone who can be a kid like them and a leader to them and someone they can turn to. They don't need a loud voice or a stern word or a frustrated face. What does that do? It inspires fear and anger. A problem is hard to accept and harder to solve because a kid needs time. They need their time and your time. I didn't always have the time, but I tried, and that's where the changes occur. But change is not a fast process. I still struggle with change every day. It's not easy to adopt the mindset of taking mistakes for what they are. I'm still harsh and stern and can't solve every problem and can't always make it work. I still work through things that have been ingrained in me since the first day of this journey. But that doesn't mean I'm not a better person. That doesn't mean I'm not more confident or able or happy or fulfilled. That doesn't mean I wouldn't trade my past for anything. That doesn't mean my journey was the best thing that's ever happened to me. That doesn't mean I don't have a more intense passion that will carry me through my life. That means I grew. I grew up at a desk on the best and worst day of my life, which happened at the exact same time. I grew up at Outdoor Lab, where every day is just another gorgeous day at Mount Evans. I'm ready once again to take on the world. My fire is brighter than ever, and that is the most honest and genuine thing I could have ever gained.